Cool. Well, thank you guys for joining us. This is going to be about the swim relay this weekend at Clevedon. Um, just a little bit of housekeeping. If you can keep yourselves on mute. If you have got any questions, pop up the little hand if you can find it amongst all the buttons below, or just pop it in the chat and one of us will come to it as we're talking. To give you a bit of intro on us, you might have seen the emails coming from myself and Jerry. I'm Colette. I'm fundraising manager or community manager, and basically looking after everyone that swims in our events and fundraises, looking after the fundraising, sending the comms out, and keeping a track of it for us. And the fundraising all goes to the programs that the charity operates, which is generating lessons all over the UK for children with disabilities. So that is where your fundraising is going, which is amazing. Hand over to Mark to intro himself.
Hey everyone, I'm also in the events team, working with Colette and Jerry, and our event manager Katie's not here to run all of these events for you. I'll be there this weekend, managing and supporting you and making sure you're all safe and and you've got everything you need to have the best time. So yeah, really excited. The whole event started at Clevedon about 4 years ago. We first did a pilot there in 2021, I think, and it's since then grown to running 5 of these events. So Clevedon's it's a lovely small event, but for us it feels very much like coming home. It's our spiritual home of where all of this started. So yeah, really excited to get back there this weekend. Jerry.
Hello, I'm Jerry. I look after the ticketing and administration side of things. You might have heard from me on various channels as well. But yeah, I'm fairly new to the team. I've been here like a year and a half, because our events have kind of grown so much. We needed to bring on somebody extra to look after everyone. So yeah, that's me. I won't be at Clevedon myself this weekend, but I hope you have a really fabulous time. And I just think that's a really, really beautiful lake. Just like an infinity pool, isn't it? As you see the water kind of like go off right into the sunset. So yeah, I hope you guys have a fabulous time. And I look forward to hearing all about it next week.
Thanks, Jerry. I'll also be there this weekend, so I get to meet you all face to face. As I said, I've popped something in the chat and I'll also put it in the captains group after this, just some resources that have been available in all the emails. But just to highlight, we've got the Swimmer Hub that has a lot of information in it about this weekend. And the Fundraiser Hub has loads of tips in it, little videos you can download, examples of text to send out when you're speaking to people. So definitely have a little look on there. This week for fundraising is incredible. It's the spike in what is brought in is just phenomenal. You get more donations in, I think, because you're getting closer to the event, that people feel the excitement. You probably feel like you can justify putting more messages out and contacting people. So definitely keep pushing and keep, sending messages to your network on that. Jerry swam Shepton for us the weekend just gone and fundraised and did her own journey. And one thing she found really successful was sending a broadcast over WhatsApp. You just have to write the one message, but you can select loads of contacts and it comes through as a personal message rather than popping it in a group and it getting lost and people ignoring it. So that's one technique that she's found that has been really successful. We'll talk about a few more tips and give you some examples throughout this chat. I'm just going to hand over to Mark, who's just going to chat through the swimmer briefing for you.
Yeah. So we will send out the swimmer briefing to everybody beforehand, and it'd be really great to have a read through. The main thing, have you all swum maybe with a hands up or a reaction in some way? Do you all know Clevedon or a nod? You've all swum there yeah, great. So as you know, the lake is on the edge of the world with the Bristol Channel blowing a breeze up. So and also that camping is going to be around the lake on the concrete. So that's the most important thing to consider, is how you're going to be weighing your tents down, and the size of your tent. So there's a 5 meter gap between the lake and the wall. You won't be able to use any more space than 3 meters. So, a 3 by 3 meter gazebo, that's as much space as you'll be able to come out, just because we need to leave a 2 meter gap around the edge. We ran it there a couple of years ago with a similar number of people, and it worked, and because everyone bought the right size and stuff. So yeah, it worked really well. if everyone sticks to that rule. If you do bring anything a little bit bigger, we will just ask you to move it or twist it or turn it around. But just make sure you're not bringing anything that's coming out over that 3 meters. You can, and then what we found is people were just using bags and things to make sure their tents were weighed down, and we didn't see any problems at all with it a couple of years ago. So should all be good. You can arrive anytime from, or start setting up anytime from 8 on Saturday morning. We're going to be setting up, we can't set up anything around the lake until Saturday morning, annoyingly, rather than on Friday. So we just need a bit of time to make sure we've got all our stuff set up, and then you can come in from 8 in the parking field. Get yourself set up. We'll do a swimmer briefing at about 11:30. So with that, just make sure you've got your first swimmers ready, because we'll do the briefing and then we'll start the event straight away. Registration will open around 8-9 as well. So swimmers, as you turn up, just come and register at the main bit. Have you all seen in the swimmer hub? You'll see the site map, just to give you an idea of where you'll be camping and where all registration will be. It's very simple. You know the lake as you get in, where the swimmers always get in. That's where we'll have the entrance and exit. And then we'll have our sort of HQ there, that kind of thing. Toilets will be up by the sort of on the road up to the car park, to the pub, sorry. So we'll have toilets there. And yeah, so that's the times before in the morning, and we'll start at midday. We'll start the swim at midday on the dot, and then set everyone off. With Abby, you just said about the parking field. So the parking is just in the car park, the main car park that you've got at Clevedon. There should be more than enough space. There is the park run on in the morning, which can be make it a little bit busier. So just be aware of the car park, the parking, and the people. There'll be a lot of people leaving as we're all turning up. So once we get started, we then run the event as an hourly stint, we call it. So you'll set off, you'll swim. It's a 500-meter loop, approximately, I believe. And then with 10 minutes to go at the end of each hour, we'll stop people starting a new lap and start bringing people out. That's just so we know we can keep an eye on who's coming in and who's coming out of the lake at any one time. And then once the last swimmer of the previous stint has rounded the buoy right at the end, we'll then set the rest of the group off. There is only 25 teams, so there's only going to be 25 of you ever swimming at once in the lake. So it's not going to be crowded. It's not going to be busy. We just have to manage it in terms of our safety, that we know exactly who's in and who's out. Each team will get one pink wristband. Person who's swimming will always wear that wristband. So once you get out, you'll find the next swimmer. They will then take the wristband. We'll tick off your name, make sure you're in, and then you set yourselves off. So it's all pretty simple, and that's pretty much all we do in terms of managing the day. It's just making sure that we know who's in the water. We've got a full water safety crew on the lake for you, and spotters on the edge. We've got a medical team on site as well, so you'll be fully looked after, with fire pits and all sorts of things. And then we'll just keep going. We just keep going and keep going until you get to midday on Sunday. It's good fun. If we are expecting it to be a bit windy and a bit chilly, so just make sure with your teams you're letting everybody know to just come prepared for the weather. It should all be good, but there's a little bit of drizzle expected, so it's just come prepared. We will have a sort of a warming tent set up as well, so there'll be a heated tent where you can come and get warm or dry some stuff off. So that's going to be, I think, quite useful, along with a big fire pit. So that was very loved at Shepperton at the weekend. I think that's probably it. We'll send out the briefing. There'll be some more bits in there, but I suppose just the main takeaway is the camping. It is very rugged, but if you get it right, it's really nice, really fun. And I just remember it from 2 years ago. It was such a nice vibe. Everyone just sitting around the lake all day having a chat, because you can hear the music. We have music playing all day. You can hear the music. Everyone can see each other. So it's one of the few events where you can camp directly next to the lake and actually watch the swimming for 24 hours. A lot of the other ones, it's you're camping a little bit further away. So it is a nice treat like this one. Is there any questions on that at the moment, on swimming, the event briefings, anything that doesn't make sense? It's confusing. No, good.
On arrival, I've had a few people in the team that are coming from a bit further say, like, what's the latest they can get there? So is the suggestion get there earlier, or is it kind of any time up to 11:30 for that briefing?
So that's a good point. So on that, like, the only person that technically needs to be there and there at the briefing is the first swimmer. So your whole team don't need to be there from the start, as long as you've read the briefing and your first swimmer is there and ready. So like, yeah, if they're not swimming till 6 o'clock at night, they can turn up at 5. You know, it's up to them. Just please make sure everyone who arrives comes to register. You'll get a number, you'll get a swim hat. We just need to make sure that anyone who's swimming has registered. So yeah, I'd say it's quite nice just to come and hang out. It's a nice vibe. So I'd say get there nice and early. Obviously, the earlier you get there as well, the closer you'll be around to the start, if that's what you want. But weirdly, it doesn't take up that much space. So you know, the sort of like the boating pond corner will probably just come round to like just after that, and everyone will be contained in that corner. Which is cool. And then throughout the night, because of the pub there, we do have security on the tops of the steps, just to make sure that loads of people, like a couple of years ago, loads of people get coming down trying to buy drinks from us. So we'll avoid that. We'll have some people up there for you, so no one's coming and bothering us. The other thing just to remember is that the lake isn't actually closed down for public swimming. So if it was going to be a nice day, we'd expect. Oh, there we go. Just Abby said the same thing. No, it's not. The lake didn't want to do that. They will be kept to one side, so the normal swimming access point down where we all started will be closed down. If they want to come and do public swimming, they'll be asked to go up to the other end and swim across the wall, not the seaside, the wall side of the lake. So they'll be out of the way from us. So sorry, I mean, I didn't see your full question there, but yeah. What we found out what happened a couple of years ago is this guy, I remember it so well, this guy rocked up at about 7 a.m. on Saturday morning, had no idea what was going on, asked me about it. He then ended up joining a team because they were down a person. He ended up staying for the whole weekend, didn't go home. He hadn't planned to stay. He planned to come for a half-hour swim, ended up staying the whole weekend. Turns out it was his birthday. So the closing speeches was us all just singing happy birthday to him. It was really nice. So you get that a lot of Clevedon. I think we'll get a lot of people wanting to come and take part during the day, which is fun.
We've got an exciting new challenge this year at Clevedon as well. We've introduced the mile an hour swim. So excited to see we've got a few people swimming that for us. And it's going to start at exactly the same time as the 24-hour swim relay. Mark, I don't know if you can give us a bit more detail on that one.
Yeah, we wanted to try out a new challenge. We've been doing the 24 hours for a few years, and Clevedon seems to be our test lake for these things. And we had a few people wanting to do a solo challenge, but seeing that the 24 hours wasn't particularly achievable for a lot of people, even though we did have 4 people do it at Shepperton at the weekend. So we introduced a different challenge, which was the idea is they would try and swim an hour. So they get in at midday, they'll swim an hour, they get out, then they get back in with you, and they've got another hour to swim another mile. So it's a test. We've only got about 10 people doing it. You can do it as a solo or a duo, but it's quite exciting to sort of test out a new challenge that hopefully we might then take to other lakes if it's successful. So
you will know who those people are as well, because they'll have a different colour swim hat on. So if you're like, oh, why has that guy got a blue hat? That's what they're doing.
Oh, on hats, and so I know that you need a coloured light on your toe float and then a white light on your goggles. Some people will have like a colourful toe float that they'll put a normal white light inside. So is that fine? Because it will glow like orange or whatever.
Yeah, I think so. So the reason we do we'll let you know when you have to wear a toe float. You don't have to wear it during the day. It'll be Shepperton. It was 9 o'clock until 5, I think, 5 a.m. The reason we have the different colours is so it's easier for us to know which way you're swimming in. So yes, if you had a light in your toe float, obviously we could tell that was a toe float. The reason we have them make sure they're static lights is because the buoys at the ends will be lit up and they'll be flashing. So having them static just means people, if they flash as well, people will start following you and you could end up anywhere. So that's why. Great.
A little bit on accessibility as well. I don't know if you guys have people swimming your team have an access requirement, or anyone who's watching this video later. We're quite proactive in contacting people if they've ticked something on the form. If we haven't got in touch, please get in touch if anyone has any questions. Clevedon is quite incredible with his access already. They've set up the hoist, which we're going to have access to. There is an accessible changing room down the other side of the lake that is going to be open. There's a different way of getting into the water. Some people don't or can't use the stairs, so we've got to drop off into the water as well. So yeah, there's quite a few options, and we're very happy to look after any mobility devices at the tent whilst people are swimming, just to ensure they're safe. But again, if anyone has any queries or any concerns about anything, please get in touch with myself or Jerry, and we'd love to chat through with you and see what we can do to help. Just to reiterate what Mark said about the weather, is going to be a little bit cooler, so just come prepared. Just have a little look. Might be a bit far out at the moment, but yeah, have a little look on the weather and pack. I mean, you guys are all local to the area, so you probably know a lot more than us. But yeah, just be a bit mindful. It is 24 hours and it is outside. If you do swim skins, maybe pack a wetsuit just in case, just so you can carry on swimming. You know, be awful that you'd have to stop because you're getting a bit chilly. So yeah, make sure those little items are in your bag. And a hot water bottle, someone said, from Shepperton. So yeah, that might be a nice little cozy idea.
And what we'll say a lot about this event is this isn't a competition, or it's not timed. Like there's no winners or losers. You know, the challenge is the longevity. So like we had some people really worried at Shepperton that they were going to be disqualified if they wanted to get out too early. It's not that kind of event. You don't get disqualified. If you need to get out because you're cold, you get out because you're cold. You're not going to fail. But we'll make a really big point about that on the day, just about self-care, looking out for each other, looking after each other, and personal safety is the most important thing.
Jerry, do you mind going over volunteers for us? You've kindly been keeping a track of that one.
Yeah, sure. So we do always have volunteers at our 24-hour swims. We really need like a few people just to help at the registration desk. That's just basically just welcoming people to the event, ticking them off a list, giving them their swim hat, wishing them luck. And also we have kind of 5-hour shifts where people will help us to check people in and out of the water as well. So everyone's going to have a number and a letter written on their hand. So we'll write that down against their team as they get in, and we'll write that down again against their team as they get out, just so we know that everyone is safe. We always give, a little gift to say thank you, and we put you in a very lovely pink high-vis, pink or yellow, you could choose for the time. But we've still got quite a few slots to fill, so actually we are happy just to refund your ticket fee. So if anyone would like to come and help us on the day, we're still looking for one person at registration and then a few people to help us with the check-ins and check-outs. It's really easy and fun, and we're a lovely bunch. So please come and join in, and yeah, we will refund your ticket after you've helped out at the event. I've got a question from Abby here. Can you do a shorter shift? Yes, if you can come and help us. I mean, if we're in the situation where we haven't got people kind of like signed up, we will, be able to just ask people like, oh, could you just do this one, or could you just do the next one? Just to check people in and out of the water, because we just need a couple of extra eyes really on that. So yeah, if you want to do a shorter shift, you can. If you want to share a shift with somebody, you can. But do let us know, because obviously we'll have to figure out how, the refund process and things will work for you. But yeah, you're welcome to kind of divide that. If you sign up for 2 shifts, you could take turns with somebody, something like that. So just let us know.
It's just because, because we're a smaller team, there's some people who only have 3 hours between swims. So trying to volunteer as well on a 5-hour shift gets tricky.
Oh yeah, I mean, even if you could come and do one check in and check out and say, okay, thanks, just let us know. And you can ask us at the registration desk as well, if you don't get a chance to kind of sign up. I will pop the volunteer form What's the easiest way, Colette, to get it through to everyone? I think I've put it in the captain's WhatsApp, but maybe on the next email we could pop the volunteer form on there, and that email will go out to everybody. So you can just sign up, or if you want to do just an hour here and there, just come and let us know at the registration desk as well. I say us, I won't be there, but it'll be Colette and Mark, and also lovely Lucy will be there on the day.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll make sure we put it in the email. Yes, I think, but yeah, we'll sort of pop it in any more comms going forward, because to have a little bit of a hand would be lovely. Just to go back to fundraising, I just want to thank you all as well. I checked the fundraising and we're at £10,000 at the moment, which is phenomenal. That's such an incredible amount of lessons that you guys have created from fundraising. Like, that wasn't there before. That's now available for us to offer more children around the UK lessons. I don't know if you guys saw in the captains group, a girl who learned to swim at Bristol is now sort of competing, which, yeah, is just success to the lessons at Level Water. So yeah, keep pushing your stories out, keep talking to your networks. Don't feel like, keep telling people what you're doing. It's an incredible challenge. We've had people walk away from the last weekend saying it was amazing, but it is also challenging. You're swimming over 24 hours. You're going to be a bit sleep deprived. You're going to be getting in and out of the water. You're really testing yourself. So tell people that, really sell how you're feeling and get your story out to people, because people want to know what you're doing. They can sympathize with the cause. It's swimming, you're swimming. It's you're doing phenomenal work already. Just keep doing it. The more lessons we can offer is just amazing. So yeah, and use the fundraiser hub. There's a lot of support in there. Drop me or Jerry a message if there's anything that you're unsure about, and we can help provide examples of text. And our Instagram's amazing. Like, we've got so many reels on there that Jerry uploads of visits to pools and kids swimming. So if you want to see where your money's going, that's it. That's what you're supporting and how you're helping. So yeah, just wanted to thank you.
And Facebook. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, tag us and we can share it as well. So at Level Water UK, and we'll keep putting them out there. I think, unless anyone's got any further questions, Mark's got a lovely little story to finish on for us.
Yeah, is there any more questions at the moment? I'm sure we'll get more once we send this out to the rest of the swimmers, which we'll make sure we're capturing as well. But yeah, so a couple of months ago we were doing some branding work, and I just went out to a few of our stakeholders and supporters and asked for some feedback on what we were doing. And one of the mums of a child that we teach, a kid called Gil, who's been having our lessons for a while, she came back with a very interesting response around, it really doesn't matter what you look like, basically, because and then she wrote this, which I'll just read to you now, because it's just a lovely, the best way to sort of understand what we do, why we do it, and how important it is that you do what you do for us. So she said, Level Water took away the gloom and life-changing misery of our son's disability and diagnosis. They reminded us that he is a little boy who could have lots of amazing adventures and try things we never would have dared, like the Bantam swoosh and the triathlon. Now he is a club swimmer and a rising star, a potential Paralympian. What's more, they found us at a time when milestones at school were not being met. Walking had been a struggle, and we were really feeling the weight of the restrictions he would have in life. Now we have hope, and he feels like an athlete and struts around with his medals. He has grown in confidence and ability and trains 3 times a week and competes with the swim club. Our son is told he can be a para-county swimmer next year at just 10 years old. From his perspective, someone believed in him and told him he was more than his disability and focused on who he could be. He says he is like a snail on land, but a shark in the water. Level Water rescued my son from mainstream coaching, where they held him back because he could not do the strokes the right way. They made him swim with 3-year-olds because he couldn't tick the boxes. Level Water unlocked that potential for him, and with a little patience and adjustment of teaching style, they found that inner shark and showed him the sea. This is the power of Level Water and the power of swimming. So that story is on our website. Colette is just about to drop the link to it into the chat here. Please share that with everyone. That story is online, and it is such a powerful way to kind of go, it's all about saving them from the fact that they can't have these lessons, unlocking their potential through one-to-ones, and focusing on them as a unique individual rather than as a group. And that's what these kids need, and it gives them the opportunity to fall in love with the water. And hopefully one day and they'll be taking part in the 24-hour with you. So that's our hope. So thank you so much, everybody, and I cannot wait to meet you all on Saturday.
Thank you so much, and we'll make sure we circulate the recording. We'll see you on the weekend.
See you on the weekend. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Georgie. Cheers, Josh. Thanks, Abby.
Bye.